So okay guys, in this video we'll be doing the solid state machine, and this box contains the IP address 10.10.51, and I have already done the nmap scan, and you can see open SSH and the SMTP server, James SMTP server, and the web server, and also we have the POP server and NNTP server. Okay, now what we're going to do is I ran the GoBuster upon this website, but it does not contain any information. So it says solid state security, and there is almost nothing in this. It's just a form, so you can test for any access. So it's literally nothing. So okay, you can see the James SNDP server version. Let's copy this and now search for in the Google. Now you can see in the exploit DB we have the remote code execution, so you can use this exploit. So here this is the payload. So the administration tool. Okay, so default credentials are root. So if that authentication has been succeeded, then and it's running on the port 444555. Okay, and then we are using the root and hitting enter. Okay, and root. So you don't need to type user root, just simply root, and if this has been succeeded, and then we are creating a user. So add user, and this is the username. And this is the password. So this is the username bash_completion.d. So it is like a daemon, and I will explain that later. So this is the exploit is the password. So after that we are just creating a user and quitting. After that again we are connecting to this server on the 25 port, and what we are going to do is here we are sending a mail from this team.pl. okay, we are sending a mail from this team.pl and to the recipient. So this our user bash completion. So we are sending from normal fake mail, fake recipient address to this one bash completion.d, and then where we need to send some random data, and then we need to say from address, and then we need to send the payload. Okay, you can also do this manually by interacting with this James server. So okay, actually this bash completion.d is a daemon, and this payload will executed only when somebody logs in. So whenever this somebody logs in into this SSH, this content in this directory gets executed. Actually this James server creates a directory with the username exact this one. So what we are going to do is we are going back to this path, and then the content in this directory gets executed whenever somebody logs in. So you can search exploit James. So okay, this is this Python file. So you can look at this number and get the full path and copy it into this normal folder. So okay, first let's say netcat. Let's connect to this server, that HackTheBox box, and then we connect to the remote administration port. So connection succeeded. So we are verifying whether the root is successful or not. So then we can go ahead and execute this exploit. So welcome root, help for list of commands. So help. Okay, let's try to do this first manually. So we have logged in and we are going to create this one, bash completion.d. So we can also list the users, list users. So I have already created this one, so before recording of this video, so that's why it is there. So I am going to delete this user. So del user and copy paste this one. So again list users. So you can see there is no bash completion.d. So okay, now let's go ahead and say add user, this one, and hit enter. Sorry, add user and password say bash. Password is bash, and you can see list users. So this user has been added. So after, what this exploit is doing is connecting to this 25 server. Okay guys, I have already copied to this james232.py. Now let's run python 2 james and hit enter. So you can see here james python file and the IP address. Let's and we need to specify the payload here. So normal bash reverse shell. So let's copy this, and now let's edit this one. So paste it in here. So I have already done that. Now let's open the listener. Now let's execute this one. Provide the IP address. Okay, we did not get the reversal because we did not log in, so somebody need to log in. So now let's go and log into this administration panel, root. So let's say help. So let's say list users. Okay, now let me change the password for all these users. So you can use the set password. So we have successfully set these passwords. Now let's go on and connect to this 110 port, which is running the POP3 mail. So you can see here 110 port. So you can connect and you can log in into the as a client. So now let's say user and the, let's say, James. I think James is okay. Let's go on to the another user, that is John. Okay, let's search for pop3 commands. Okay, I don't know much of these pop3 commands. Okay, restart messages, so you can say rest. So there is one message, so you can retrieve. So deliver to John from the main admin. So can you please restrict Mindy's access until she gets ready onto the program. Also make sure that you send her a temporary password to log into her. So that means John has been sent a password to log in access for the Mindy. So let's say user. Okay, let's log in with the Mindy's password. User Mindy and pass Mindy. Let's reach the mails. Retrieve one first message. So it's welcome message, and retrieve second one. So you can see the SSH credentials came from mail admin. Okay, this is the SSH credentials. So let's copy this one, and now SSH Mindy. Now upon login we will get the reversal. Let's paste the password and hit enter. So you can see connection received. Who am I? So Mindy, let's upgrade to I think Python is there. Yes, Python is there. So okay, let's background this one. So we are converting into the raw input, and then let's foreground the background process and hit enter. So you can see we got the normal shell, full TTY shell. Okay, let's say ls. So we have the user.txt, and there is a bin directory. Let's go into that. So res minus -LA. So these are just a symlinks to the binaries. So let's view our permission sudo -l. Okay, sudo command not found. Let's go to the root directory. Res. So from, I think we need to find the type files, user root. Okay, so there are so many files. So you can see there are some Python files. So let's stop this one. Okay, let's see how to exclude a directory. So since we are getting so many results from the user share. Okay, not path. So let's add that. Need to specify any quotations? Yes. So you can see there is a Python file opt temp.py and also sendmail.py. So let's go to opt address minus array. Sorry. So this is owned by the root user and we can modify that. So let's view the cat temp.py. So I have already modified this one. You can do with the nano. So you can copy the Python reverse shell and paste it in here. So I'm listening on the port 1235. So let's open a listener. So address minus area. So let's say date. So we need to wait 1 minute or 2 to get executed by a cron job, and then this Python gets executed and we get the reversal. So you can see we got the reversal. So you can see we got the root.txt file. So let's recap what we have done. So there is an SMPD server running, and that is James, and it has the default credentials root. So by that we have added a user, and it has no input filtering. So that's why this folder will be created. So for any user, so there will be a John folder, etc. So whenever that folder is created, any user in the SSH logs in, and the script under here gets executed. So that's why it contains the mails. So this directory contains the mails, and we are sending the payload as a mail. So the payload under this directory gets executed. So that's why we got the shell, and we used a Python script that is already running by a cron job as a root user, and we got the reverse shell.